Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. We really wanted to take this opportunity to talk about our economics honors program and give you all the opportunity to ask some questions to get comfortable with what is the honors program? Is it a good fit for you? What are the benefits of doing this program? The way we're going to do it today is we're going to go through these slides, but if you feel you have any relevant questions, please throw them into the chat and then we could address them. And we will also have a question period at the end for any other questions as well. All right. Okay, so this is a common question that us advisors get is, what is the difference of the major versus the honors, right? There are some similarities and then also some huge differences. You can complete your Bachelor of Arts Econ major or your Econ honors program with both with 120 units. Whether that will happen will depend on how quickly within your degree you decide to pursue the honors program. So speaking with us advisors really will allow you to stay efficient and try to finish this program as timely as possible. When we say the same lower division and core upper division courses, what we mean is all the lower level courses that you do for your econ major, there's no extra courses that you need to complete if you decide to do your honors program. And for the core upper division courses in the major, 302, 305, 333, your 400 level, your upper level W, that is all the same. Both can be completed in the same amount of time. What this means is within 120 units. But again, it's about timing these courses so you do complete it in a timely manner. All right, main difference. And I think it's the added value. The honors program does put more emphasis on upper division courses. So the econ major only requires 45 upper division courses, 300, 400 level courses, and 30 is your econ major, whereas the honors requires you to complete 60 upper division courses and 50 must be econ. So that's like a huge difference if we're talking about units, right? Obviously, if you the honors program is going to be more upper division and more econ courses. So what are these extra courses? We have them listed here is advanced micro, macro, and econometrics. So those are our econ 402, 403, and 435. And you're required to do a couple more 400 level econ electives. The biggest, I guess one of the big things about the honors program, the students have a lot of questions, and we really want to address this in our talk today. And that's why we have Fernando here, because he does teach our Econ 494 and 499, which is the honors thesis, or we like to call it also the applied research project. I thought maybe Fernando would be great if you were to talk about like the benefits of doing the honors program.
Sure. Thanks, Anthea. So, I mean, many of you as economists already, you know that, one way to think about the trade-offs are benefits and costs. So that's why I highlight that. So the first one, the most important benefit is that it kind of will be a signal, it will be a message of your academic capabilities to other programs. So if you want to study in, a master degree or a PhD degree, further in your career, the honors will be a perfect signal, a perfect way to tell everybody, hey guys, I am well prepared and I am capable of doing this. Of course, for that signal to be credible, you have to have better preparation. So the honors will give you much better preparation for grad school. So these advanced micro, macro, and metrics will basically put you in the right path for later on when you're going to the University of Toronto or a top school in anywhere else, you are in good grounds and you succeed. A third benefit is that because you will be in a small class, I mean, by design, the honors course tends to be smaller classes, you will get a more tailored experience. You know, you have more attention from faculty. You finally will have faculty who knows your name, who knows your capabilities, and that will give, you know, advantages later on in terms of, you know, if you need somebody to write you a letter for work or for graduate school, that will be super important. You know, as an experience, because you finally get much more attention from an instructor, but also in terms of inputs that you will need later on for your graduate school. I don't know if, now, of course, there's some cost, and the two important costs is, first, the courses will be more challenging, and for many of you, actually, that could be a benefit because it will be much more interesting. But and you will be required to motivate yourself more because of the additional demand. But that doesn't mean that this is an insurmountable cost. I mean, it's not like you cannot do it. If you are the right student, so if you, as we will discuss in the requirements, but if you're a student fit for the honors, you will, we will make sure that you succeed. You know, that you face the costs. Because you have to pay that in terms of time and motivation. But as Aaron and Jack will tell you, if you put the time, if you put the effort, you know, it's you will succeed.
And I just wanted to add something to that, is that often, like, you know, your question you ask yourself is like, oh, well, am I the right student? I can help you answer that question. So, and I will repeat this a couple of times during this talk, is like, we invite you to come speak to us advisors. We'll have a look at your transcripts. We'll talk about your goals and see whether that the honors program is a right fit for you.
Mm-hmm. So let me add something, Anthea. Many students, and I mean, as an instructor, as a chair, I see many students who are doing a major, and they're brilliant. They are really good. We have many major students who are really, really good and could have succeeded in the honors. And they come to me or come to the instructor in the last year, trying to get letters, trying to move to a master's degree or a PhD later on. And they find themselves that they are not in a good position. Nobody can write a letter to them because they haven't been in close interaction with anybody. They haven't done any research project, and they are not really well. I mean, there is no evidence that they were prepared for graduate school, like advanced micrometrics or macro. So they found themselves not being able to move on to the next stage, even though they have the potential and the talent. So I think our job at this point is to kind of steer some of you that, you know, if you have it, and we will help you recognize that talent and help you move on, and not being, you know, in the last year of your undergraduate studies, kind of regretting, I didn't do this and now I cannot move on further on.
Mm-hmm. So these are the list of, so in my previous slide, I was talking about what's the difference between the econ major and the econ honors program. And we talked about how at the lower level and the core econ classes, they're exactly the same. There's no difference. The courses that we have listed on this slide are the courses that are in addition. Like, these are the courses you would need to complete for the honors program. So I'm going to quickly just say what courses they are, and then perhaps Fernando can speak more about what you would learn in each of these classes. So Econ 402s are advanced micro, Econ 403 are advanced macro, 435 is our econometrics, Econ 494 and 499 are the thesis project, and Econ 333 it's a 5-unit econ math course that you would take if you had not taken math 233, 232, and 251. So that's just a quick little description of them. Perhaps Fernando, if you wanted to speak to what would be, you know, taught in each of these classes, or what are the highlights? Sure.
So the key distinction between the honors and the major is that you will basically get a step further in the understanding, you know, economics. And for that, you need some tools. I mean, it's like going to hike in the forest and you're going to a more steeper terrain. You need better boots, a walking stick, and those tools will be math. So that's why we will require you to take Econ 331. And this is not rocket science math. It's just, give you the foundations so you can build upon that. After Econ 331, you can start taking, advanced economic courses. And here is basically an extension and deepening of what you have done in 201 and 302, for instance, or 335, the intermediate courses. Again, many students think that this advanced macro is just more math. And that's not exactly true. We're studying economics, we're not studying mathematics. Mathematics is just a tool. It's only that we're going to be using these tools to explore questions, to explore issues that you haven't seen before. For instance, if you do 302 and you do game theory and maybe something about signaling that you were not much aware, in the next course you will see more applications of that. And what is fun of these courses is that you will start seeing that economics really can be used for real life problems. Because when you start, it's kind of very kind of hand waving, kind of esoteric, kind of competitive equilibrium kind of work. And then you move to more realism. It became more realistic the farther you move on. So these, advanced economic courses, even though they're more demanding in terms of math, it will be more satisfactory to you because it will be closer to reality. Now the 494, 499, which is the research paper that you need to write. I don't know if, Carmen, if you can move on to the next slide. I think that's another one, I think. Yeah, so, Aaron and Jai will tell you more, but I teach this course and it's actually super fun. It's basically doing 2 terms. So in the 2 courses, you will work with me, an instructor, to help you develop a research project. And a research project is no more than answering a question that is interesting you. So maybe your question is, which are the returns to education in China, as Aaron's paper did. But maybe your question is, why people, disclose the information in mobile phones, or which are the impacts of a particular policy in my country or in my region. So whatever question you have about, social behavior and economics, our job will be over 2 terms, help you formulate that into a research project, to teach you the methodology to do that. Collect data, formulate the questions, prepare a proposal, and then help you write down and present that paper. Now, it doesn't have to be an academic paper, like a purely academic paper. It could be a technical report, like the sort of reports that you will write if you were working for the government or for the Bank of Canada. So basically, something in which, a piece of work in which you apply what you have learned of economics, you combine it with data and theory to answer a question. Okay, so has the whole purpose of these honor papers. And the best paper of that class gets an award, which is not only a prestige, a good signal again, but also money. So that's kind of a little bit of the carrot as well in that course.
I wonder if Aaron and Jack can chime in here about your experiences with these 2 courses, or even if with other courses in the honors program that you really enjoyed. Maybe you can share some anecdotes about it.
Yeah, so I think the best thing in the honors program is let's say in 3 levels course, or from like the first year to 3 level course, you're learning those theory-based stuff. But then in the 4 level honor courses, you're really putting your knowledge into applications. So my own experience when I'm taking the Studio 3, that's the first time I got to use the R Studio. And I just really don't like it, and I don't see how useful that is, but I kind of learned it. But in the 494 and 499, I do my own research. You have to go through everything as those researchers doing. And after that, you get used to it and you really learn for application, because like lower division econ class is just theory based. But for honor, you really do the application and you see how econ is working in the world.
What about you, Jack? Do you have any thoughts to share?
Yeah, I definitely agree that the 494 and 499 courses really take everything you've learned up until your last 2 semesters at SFU in the econ program, and really shows you how that knowledge can be applied to answer real world questions, whether it be returns to education, as Aaron's paper, he did a fantastic paper, and I looked at marketing of opioid medications when I did mine, and these are questions that, you know, you can investigate anything that interests you with economics. Economics isn't just, you know, money and banking or anything like that. You can use it to answer just about any real world question with data that you can collect out in the real world, and it's about answering questions that you're interested in. So yeah, I really enjoyed both Econ 494 and 499. I took them with Xian Lu rather than with Fernando, and yeah, I had a fantastic time with Xian, but I know that Fernando is going to be teaching the class moving forward, and he's a fantastic professor as well. So yeah, and then other than that, I'd just say that yeah, my 402 as well was definitely one of my favorite courses that I took, and it really gave you a more real world application of the microeconomic theory that you learn in 201 and 302 and your various elective courses. So yeah.
Thanks. So you can imagine now, when you apply to a graduate school, they know by having done the honors program that you've already taken these theories and applied them. You've already done that. So they're aware of that. And then imagine yourself at a job interview with this skill set. When they ask a question, how much more in depth you can go and how you can show that you've taken this theory you've learned and you've already applied it. So huge value.
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention is if you do the econ honor, you really got the skill as those stat honor student, like in the application, because at least you learn like how to gain knowledge on yourself. For example, like our studios and all the statistic method, because you're going to do a lot of empirical work. And yeah, so even though you don't go for grad school, but just having the econ honor program, and when you're going to getting a job related to the statistic field, that's going to help.
Allison, you asked a question in the chat. Which faculty is this program in? It's still in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. So you're not changing a faculty. You're just, it's just an econ. It's another econ program within the Faculty of Arts and Social Science.
Yeah, so it still be a BA.
It's a BHA. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slight difference. Yeah.
Slightly different. Yeah. It's higher. It's a
Yeah.
step higher. Yeah.
Evan brings out good points about how, you know, having done the honors thesis paper is still useful for you when you're looking for jobs. I know one of our previous honors students, Hamza, when he came in and talked to us, you know, he said in all of his job interviews, every single one of them wanted to talk about his thesis paper. That was like a point of conversation that the hiring panel was really interested in, because that demonstrates that you know how to apply your skills and knowledge to real life issues and problems. And that's something that employers are really looking for in a candidate.
Mm-hmm. So just let me add this issue. I mean, the honors program it's trying to develop all these skills that are useful as an economist, both in grad school as an applied, you know, economist in real life work, writing skills, you know, presentation skills, data management skills, and of course, how to use all that economic models and theory you learn to answer real life problems. And, you know, if you're hired by Amazon as a data scientist, or by Google to do that, or by a bank, those are the skills that we're looking for. And a useful byproduct of all the honor experience is that you have evidence of that. You can talk about your paper, you know, give a sample of your written work that you right now have, and that will be fantastic, you know, for that particular experience. Now, one of the things about the honors program is that because it is more demanding, it's more challenging, it's not for everybody. So we would love to have the same standard for all the major students, but many of them will not be suitable for that. It will be too hard or might not be what they really need. So that's where we have like a stream within the economics program to allow for the best students to choose, you know, for some students to choose this particular path. And I think it's a good time to talk about the requirements for the honors program. You need minimum cumulative GPA of 3, and you need to have completed certain the required equal lower divisions of C-. I think Anthea, can you probably develop this a little bit more?
Absolutely. So I think a lot of you may know, perhaps a lot of you are already in the econ major, is that you needed a 2.6 to declare, and you need to complete Econ 201. So for the honors program, the requirement's a little bit higher. You need to have a minimum GPA 3.0 to declare your honors program, and even just to take those specific honors classes. So even if you just are interested, oh, I want to take 402, you would not be able to enroll in that class unless you had a GPA of 3.0. And when I say CGPA, I mean all the courses taken at SFU, not just econ classes. We did have a slide, Carmen, before, like 2 slides back, that kind of talks a little bit about how you would complete the honors program. We kind of skipped that one, if we could go back.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, and while she finds that slide, to declare your econ honors program is also very simple. You would just have to send me an email. If you have the requirements, we move into the program. However, we do ask our honor students to make an appointment with us, and a lot of that is just to kind of look at where you are in your program now and how can you fit the honors program as you complete the rest of the courses. I always try to help our students to complete within the 120 or a little bit more, a little bit extra perhaps. And a lot of that is making sure you are taking the right courses in the right term, right? So let's see, look at the slide right here. Yeah, so the biggest thing, so for 3rd year, I don't like putting students into categories 3rd year, 4th year very much, because again, you don't have, of course, you don't have to complete your degree in 4 years. You may be taking, 5, 6, 7. That's perfectly fine. The big thing that I wanted to draw to your attention is if you look under 4th year, where it says like there's certain classes that are offered only in the fall and certain classes only in the spring, right? So it's great if you are at the beginning part of your degree, right? Then okay, I should be taking my math 331 in the spring, and then I know I could take my advanced micro in the fall. You know what I mean? So all of you are in different parts of your degree, and that's why it's important to kind of make an appointment with us, and then we can kind of let you know, okay, for now you're focusing on your core classes and you can catch the honors program next year, right? So that's kind of why we wanted to just point that out to you. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's it. Azam's not here today. He's taking a vacation day, which is good for him, but please feel free to email either one of us, and we invite you to come in for appointments so we can look at your plan specifically and how the honors program can be completed specifically for you. I wanted to ask a question to Aaron and Jack is, some students hesitate to do the honors program because they're like a little bit nervous about it, whether they can do it, but I wanted to ask, did it increase your confidence with your knowledge in economics? Do you feel now that I did the honors program, I'm more confident going to that job interview or applying to the graduate program?
Yeah, definitely a lot. because as I mentioned, you were doing pure theory. There's all like given information, like built by the previous people. In the honor program, you start your own stuff, and it really tests what you have learned, because that's all application. And if you miss a bit, you're not gonna make it. So if you go through all the process, yeah, you see you are capable. And I think I know a lot of people are scared when they look at I think it's Econ 321, the mathematics class, but I just want to say it's nothing to worry for that class. It's even easier than the Math 157, because we are doing econ, we're not doing math. What we learn from the math there is just for application, so it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. For applications for grad school, it not just made me more confident having done the honors, you know, that I would be able to apply for these high-ranking, fantastic programs, but also it made me feel more confident that I would be able to go in there and perform well and be successful in those programs. And I don't think I would have that same sentiment if I hadn't completed the honors program. So yeah, I would definitely agree. And then just to, I actually didn't take Econ 331. I took the Calc 2, Calc 3 linear algebra route. And that is like, I really enjoyed all of those additional math courses. I found them to be really interesting. And you're also put into more of you get to meet a whole other kind of group of students, because it's mostly physics and engineering students who are in those courses. So you get to kind of spend time with students from other faculties, and I really enjoyed those courses.
Thank you. I do have one more question for Fernando. Fernando, we had a conversation once where we talked about, when we look at our econ students, some are very strong at math, some are very strong at micro, some are great at writing, some are more quantitative. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm good at quantitative courses, but I'm really scared to do writing or research or vice versa. But can we talk about how we take what your strength is and we highlight that?
Oh yeah. So one of the, I was telling Anthea, actually, I wasn't really good in math. When I
thought that was hilarious.
I know, I couldn't,
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I teach Econ 2.1 and I solve all the models using math. But when I was at that stage, I only understood that when I was in grad school. I never understood that math. And kind of the reality is that not everybody has a different advantage, comparative advantage, right? So some people are really good in math. Some people are really good in reading other, social behavior. Some are really good in data, or some people are really good in programming the models they want to do in statistic models. And what we want to do in the honors program is to give you the tools so you can develop your comparative advantage. So, especially when we work on the research project, some people are, are collecting new data and doing a statistical analysis. So their strength will be collecting data. Other people are really good in answering and asking good questions. So I think the most important thing is to remember that we're studying a social science. We are not studying math. Math is a tool. It will help us. It's needed. Like if you're an engineer, you need to do math. You need to know how to program. But the final purpose is to build a bridge or build a house. It's the same for us. So, we all have different skills and talents that can be useful. And I can see that when I teach the research project, everybody comes with a different question, and it's fun. And everybody comes with a different approach and different skill. And our job as instructor is to help you use that skill, use that strength to answer, to achieve that success. But I don't intend everybody to do the same thing. So if you feel, as a student, you feel, oh, I don't have enough math, or I don't like econometrics, or I don't like macro, that's okay. You don't have to like everything. But you need to, if you have the skills and you have the motivation, we can take that and make the best out of your economics experience and talent. Okay, so yeah, that's the message. I mean, we're social, you know, I'd rather have a curious student than a good mathematician. That's the thing, because you know the math you can develop, it's a skill, you can learn it. It's like you know, snowboarding or skiing. You can go practice and learn, but the intuition, the kind of the curiosity, that's a little bit more difficult to teach. So that's what I look for instance in the students. The rest we can teach, but you know, that talent, that motivation, that's if you have it, I mean, if you're in this audience right now and you have it, please don't throw it away. It's really scarce. It's really valuable.
A couple questions on the chat. First from Natalia, you asked, you know, can you start planning as a second year student? Yeah, sure. Come in and have a conversation with us. We don't have to overly worry about the details in second year, but at least we can have that conversation. You know, should you do the math courses like Jack did, or do you want to hold off and do the math when you do the upper level Econ 331? So yes, come on in and chat with us. There's no need to wait.
Is it okay if I just quickly speak to that as well?
Please. Yes.
Yeah. So I knew that I wanted to do the honors program basically from like first year. And because I knew basically from the first econ course I took, I wanted to go and get a master's, get a PhD. So I wanted to do the honors program. And I think that the earlier you make that decision, the better it sets you up for success in the honors program, because you saw the slide with the sample, like which courses to take in which years. That's just a sample enrollment plan. I didn't follow that one. I took 302 and 305 basically at the very end of my second year, and I didn't take 331. I took I took the math courses, and that allowed me to push up 435 instead of taking that in my fourth year, along with 402 and 494. I took that in my third year, and what that did was I had seen all of the econometrics that they expect you to know in the honors program before I started my research project, and I felt that was really useful for me. And it also freed up more time in my schedule in my fourth year, and I was able to work part-time as an RA for Hendrik Wolf, which really set me up for going into grad school. So yeah, I would definitely, like, if you're in first or second year and you're thinking about going into the honors program and completing a BA honors, yeah, I would get started on it ASAP and kind of spread your courses out. It can help lighten the course load a little bit, and it also gives you more insight into various topics when you're seeing your later courses. And yeah, that's how I did my honors schedule, and it worked really well for me. I don't know if it'll work well for you, but that's what I can attest to.
That's awesome. So Natalia, come on in. But if some of you that are on here are later on in your degree, still come talk to us. I don't think that means it's too late. Sometimes some students don't get that, you know, that, oh, I want to do this until after they've done 302. And that's okay as well, right?
I think that ties into a question that I just got. When is it recommended to start applying to the honors program? So I think that even if you don't meet the requirements yet, but you're interested in, you should still reach out to the advisors as they can help you plan it out before you actually apply. Yeah,
exactly. Anya asks, are there any math courses you would recommend taking other than calculus and linear algebra? So any other math classes besides those recommended ones?
Yeah, if you're intending on going to grad school and you're looking for more math classes because that's something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend taking real analysis. That's one of the regrets that I had, was that I didn't take real analysis. I can't remember the math, the course number for it, but yeah, like right now I'm kind of working through working through some real analysis books by myself to kind of get a head start on grad school stuff. But yeah, that's definitely one that I'd recommend. And the people who I've spoken to who have taken it said that it's really helpful and they enjoyed it a lot.
Jack, is that 200 level or 300 level math class?
It's
400. I see that
I
now.
think there's a 200 level one as well.
Oh, there is okay.
Yeah, there's I don't think it's called exactly. I don't think it's exactly called real analysis. It has a slightly different name, but it's a 200 level, I think, course.
Is it introduction to analysis?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe the 400 level is a bit much.
Yeah, the 400.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 242.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. And one thing I did also wanted to say is that Azim and I always encourage students, like if you have the requirements to declare something, declare it. If you have the requirements, if you have 201 and you have a 3.0 and you're thinking, oh, I'm thinking of doing the honors, but maybe you're like, there's 1% that's not sure, you can declare your honors program. And if you change your mind, we'll put you back into the major. So there really is no risk in like stepping forward and expressing your interest. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Another thing I wanted to mention is that CGP of 3.0, it's required to declare and it's required to complete. But if for some reason you were to dip in between a little bit lower, then that's perfectly fine. All right. So it's kind of like a beginning goal and an end goal. But I would say most of our honors programs, our honors students, stay above that 3.0. Okay.
So just let me add something here is in terms of the, almost all the courses that you now take in the honor program, except for the research project, can also be used as part of your major. So we're implementing some changes that will allow any of the honor courses to be part of your 400 requirement for your major. So that reduces the cost of taking the honors. So if you start doing the honors and later on you feel like, okay, this is not for me, I don't need it, and you want to revert to major, then it's not like you're losing, the courses you're taking, they will be part of your requirements for the major. So that reduces the cost of making this decision. Yeah.
So that's not quite in the calendar yet. So if you look that, you're not going to see that. But if you were to say, for example, take 402 and you decide, I'm not going to do the honors program, you would be able to count that for what we now call your 400 level seminar. Yeah.
And those are changes that we're implementing starting.
Yeah, very soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Something just about the math. I agree with Jack. Real analysis is extremely useful. But that said, the honors program is designed such that if you complete the equivalent of 331, that should be enough to give you traction into the honors program. And here I want to specify, within the honors program, you can go really quantitative if you want, or you can go more empirical, more macro. So you can kind of tailor that a little bit. So if you kind of feel like, okay, math is not for me, I just want to do the minimum, 331 is your path. But if you want more, of course, you can go that route as well. The key idea is that in contrast to the major, the small size of the honors program allow us to tailor, to have almost a one-on-one interaction with you, to tailor your experience, to tailor, your requirements, so to maximize your success. And that's why it's so important, Anthea is emphasizing, come talk to me, come and talk to one of the advisors. They will help you based on your skills, based on your background, design a good route for you, a good path for succeeding in this program. And also telling you if they consider that you are, you have what is needed for this program, because as much as we want the suitable students to join the honors, we don't want students who will not feel comfortable or who will not benefit as much from this program to join. Not because we don't want them to join, it's because they will struggle unnecessarily. So not everybody has the same needs. The honors program is tailored, is targeting a group of students who are really very good. They want to consider at least the possibility of doing grad studies in the future in a competitive program, and we've offered them the opportunity to develop that set of talents to help them succeed in those next plans. That's the whole purpose.
Mm-hmm. Natalia is asking another question in the chat. Is it sustainable to be in the honors program and do a minor in data analytics? So basically, this is a question in that, can you do the honors program and a minor? Because it's any other minor. When you say sustainable, I'm thinking, is it efficient, right? Is it efficient? Well, of course, we talked about in past slides that you can complete your honors program in 120 units. That is actually possible. However, if you were to add a minor into the program, and again, Natalia, to answer your question, it really depends on how early you begin your degree, right? Because that helps you to be more efficient. So yes, it can be sustainable, but remember that any courses within your minor cannot be double dipped for your major or honors program. So depending where you are in your program, you may have to complete extra units to do both programs. But instead of asking the question, is it sustainable, we can have that conversation of whether it's is it worth it to add this minor, or is it redundant once you do the honors, right? So we can have that conversation. I know more and more students are starting to do like a math minor with economics or statistics minor, right? So becoming more common for sure.
I think you can also provide the data concentration, the title for data concentration.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we also have the data concentration. Yeah, exactly.
So if you do the honor program, it's just probably 1 or 2 more courses to take, and then you can declare the title as well.
Yeah.